Good day everyone! Welcome to another episode of Agri Guru Lessons. So for today's episode, I'm going to discuss a continuation of module number 3, Interpret Plans and Drawings for learning topic number 2, which is the cultural requirements. So based on my previous discussion, I've mentioned that I'm going to discuss about the cultural requirements or the different cultural practices that we're going to apply in farming or gardening. So, but before that, let us discuss cultural methods. So what do you mean by cultural methods? So these are agriculture practices used to enhance crop and prevent weed, pests, or disease problems without the use of chemical substances. So just take note that in cultural methods, so kailangan kasi natin ma-prevent yung tinatawag na weeds, pests and diseases, or any other problems regarding our plants. Next, so sustainable vegetable farming is depending on how to manage and implement systems of culture. So, kasi nabanggit nila or nabanggit sa previous discussion ko na merong iba't ibang cultural practices sa mga farmers. Depende na lang kung paano na i-apply yon or ano yung gagawin nila. So, take note, sustainable vegetable farming is depending on how to manage. So, it's up to you para ma-sustain mo yung farm mo. It's up to you on how you're going to manage and implement those cultural practices. So, much better na apply those different cultural practices as much as you can para at least ma-sustain mo yung vegetable farming or vegetable gardening or home gardening na tinatawag. And below are some of the practices that are necessary to carry out before, during, and after crop seed or seedlings planting. So the first one is the fertilizer application, the second one is weeding, the third one is crop protection, and the fourth one is irrigation and drainage. So let us discuss first the first one, which is the fertilizer application. For the fertilizer, or let us define first the fertilizer. So fertilizers are generally defined as any material, organic or inorganic, natural or synthetic, which applies one or more of the chemical elements required for the plant growth. So take note, and based dun sa diniscuss or yung previous natin na slide, na banggit doon yung cultural method. So take note, in cultural method, gumagamit lang tayo ng organic. But it's up to the cultural practices of the different farmers if they're going to use organic. Bahala na kung pipili sila kung organic ba or inorganic. Okay, so inorganic or natural, or inorganic or synthetic. Kasi pag sinabi natin inorganic, so yan yung gumagamit ng chemicals. Unlike organic, it's more on natural na fertilizer, kaya mas safe itong gamitin. And take note that fertilizer, ito yung isa sa mga dahilan para at least ma-maintain natin yung plant growth na tinatawag natin. Meron kasi 'di ba natin binabanggit na plant life cycle. So without fertilizer, life cycle of the plants will not happen. Example, yung pagtubo pa lang niya from seeds to seedlings, from seedlings to at least yung flowering stage na, then fruiting stage, then after fruiting stage, syempre magpo-produce ng fruits again or ng seeds, then plant mo ulit. So yun yung life cycle niya. So once kasi na nagkulang tayo ng elements or ng fertilizer, specific fertilizer or element sa isang halaman, so possible na hindi ma-continue yung life cycle ng isang plant. Either hindi siya mamulaklak or hindi siya mamunga or tuluyan na lang siyang mamatay kasi kulang na lang talaga siya ng fertilizers. And there are types of fertilizers, and as mentioned on the previous slide, the first one is organic fertilizer. These are made from natural and organic materials, mainly manure, compost, or other animal and plant products. So take note that organic fertilizer is composed of manure of animals like manure of cows, carabaos, horses, rabbits, goat, but hindi naman pwedeng gamitin yung manure ng cats, ng dogs, kasi masyadong smelly yon. Okay, and then compost, ito yung sa mga kitchen scraps, yung mga pinagbalatan ng mga prutas, ng mga gulay na pwede nating i-compose for at least a month, then we can use that as a fertilizer also. And other animal and plant products. And the second type of fertilizer is the inorganic fertilizer. So these are made of up chemical components that contain necessary nutrients. If you're looking to give your garden a quick boost, this is likely the best option for you. So take note, once you use inorganic fertilizer, naka-state naman dito, it will give you a quick boost. So mabilis niyang masusustain or mabibigyan ng right nutrients yung halaman natin dahil ito ay gawa sa chemical. Take note, gawa ito sa chemical, so it can also harm us once we eat all those products or all those crops which we use inorganic fertilizers. So much better to use organic fertilizer. At least it is safe and lang siya, madali lang gawin at hindi siya magastos sa pera. And next one, so in the fertilizer, there is what we call macronutrients and micronutrients. So what is the difference between macronutrients and micronutrients? So take note that plant needs nutrients. So therefore, we need to apply fertilizer, and those fertilizers made out of macronutrients and some sort of micronutrients. When we say macronutrients, so these are the elements needed by the plants in larger amounts. So that's why it's macro. Macro means large. And versus ng micronutrients, so these are the elements needed by the plants in smaller amounts. So micro means small. So let's focus more on macronutrients. So ano ba yung macronutrients na yan? So in macronutrients, there are primary and secondary macronutrients. So under primary macronutrients, meron tayong tinatawag na nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So ito yung pinakakailangan ng halaman para at least masustain niya yung kanyang paglaki, mamunga, lumago, at mamulaklak. Makumpleto yung life cycle ng isang halaman. And ito ay kinakailangan din natin. Yung sa secondary, which is yung calcium, sulfur, magnesium. So without these nutrients, possible na hindi mo complete yung life cycle ng isang halaman. Maaaring hindi mamunga, maaaring hindi mamulaklak, or maaaring namumulaklak, makikita kang bunga pero hindi na tumutuloy. Possible na kulang siya sa mga nutrients. Okay po. And next, we also have the micronutrients. So take note that it is micronutrients, then we need only a small portion or a small percentage of nutrients. So ano ba yung mga yan? So we have silicon, boron, chlorine, manganese, iron, zinc, copper, molybdenum, nickel, selenium, sodium. So, yan po yung mga micronutrients. So, we don't need to apply these kasi meron naman trace elements yung lupa. So, that's why ito ay hindi naman totally na kinakailangan nating i-apply. Unlike the macronutrients, we need to apply a lot of or percentage of nutrients na kinakailangan niya para at least mamunga. Kasi yun yung tinitake talaga ng halaman. and we can apply it through spray or foliar application. Next one is weeding. So weeding is removing unwanted plants from the ones you want to be productive or ornamental in your garden. So take note, ito ay yung Tagalog na pagdadamo. So kailangan kasi natin tanggalin yung mga damo sa pagitan or sa tabi ng ating halaman para at least hindi siya naaagawan ng nutrients. So once kasi na tumaas ang damo, possible na mag-agawan sila ng nutrients, possible na mas lumaki pa yung damo kaysa dun sa iyong magiging halaman. So that's why we need to apply weeding. And next one, we have yung weeding. Sample ng weeding. So tinatanggal niya yung mga damo sa pagitan ng kanyang tanim na lettuce. Next. So crop protection. So it is the general method or the practice of protecting the crop yields from different agents including pests, weeds, plant diseases, and other organisms that cause damage to the agricultural crops. So take note that crop protection, ito ay yung sinasabi natin na pag-apply ng mga pesticides, insecticides para at least we protect our plants from any damage. Kasi pag halaman talaga, yung iba nakikita mo na kinakain na yung mga dahon ng pechay, binubutas na yung bunga ng talong. So we need to protect our crops from those pests and diseases para at least mag-survive sila at makapag-produce sila na napakaraming bunga. And yung pesticides, insecticides can be organic or synthetic also. It's up to you or it's up to the cultural practices of the farmers kung ano yung pipiliin nila. It's either organic or synthetic. Next one, or for the last one, we have the irrigation and drainage. So it is the artificial of water to land and artificial removal of excess water from land, respectively. Some land requires irrigation or drainage before it is possible to use for any agricultural production. Other land profits from either practice to increase production. So ito yung tinatawag nilang pagpapatubig. So mas mahalaga ang pagpapatubig sa isang halaman or sa isang area, most especially kapag napakalaking or hektarya ng taniman mo. Mas maganda nasa tabi siya ng ilog or nasa tabi siya ng malapit ang mapagkukuhanan ng tubig para at least mabilis yung irrigation system nila. Ito yung iba't ibang klase ng irrigation system. So ayan, yung sprinkle irrigation. So kapag totally nawala ka naman talaga mapagkukuhanan ng napakaraming tubig or dumaloy pa dyan sa mismong furrows na yan, at least pwede kang mag-irrigation system, mag-put up ka lang ng system dyan na yung hose or isang tubo na mag-i-sprinkler sa iyong mga halaman para madiligan. So ito yung isang way. And then the second one is this one. So parang meron siyang pump, malayo yung mismong pinagkukuhanan ng tubig, merong pump para at least makapunta at makadalo yung tubig sa parting ito. So ngayon, meron tayong drainage system dito na kung saan dyan dadalo yung tubig para pumunta sa iba't ibang parte ng taniman na ito. So ito yung other way ng irrigation system or drainage system. And God bless and see you on my next episode for the continuation of this module number 3.